Hi, I'm Curt Frye. In this movie, I'm going to continue creating a schedule builder for a sports league. Again, for context, we have a league with 12 clubs, and I assume that each of them plays every other club exactly once, home and away. So each team will play 22 matches. To make the schedule work, I needed to generate a Latin square that had 24 rows. So that means that some teams are listed as playing each other within a week. That just means they have the week off. And there are also weeks where a team doesn't occur in the list, and that means they don't play either. They have the week off. And so if I look in row 13, I don't see team number 2. So we're looking here. I see 8 twice, so they don't play. And I don't see team 2, so that means they don't play either. But the other 10 clubs do. And again, that's something that's necessary for creating this kind of schedule. What I'll do now is build a grid that we will be able to change to generate a schedule based on the constraints that we build in. There are going to be 24 match days. So in cell Q3, I will type a 1 and then a 2. And then I will select those cells and drag down to continue the sequence down to 24. And again, that matches the number of match weeks we have over here. The cells are still selected, so I will give them a yellow background. When I create a solver model, I put the changing cells in yellow. So that's what I've done here. Next, I need to match the schedule weeks, or rather the teams within each schedule slot, to the team that appears in the corresponding row. So what I want to do is use a formula that will look up the teams for match day 1. And for those schedule slots, let me see, I'll have 12. So I'll do 1, 2, and then I'll need to scroll over. So I'll select those, and I'll do the same thing here to get us out to 12. Takes us to column AC. There we go. I want to keep the screen readable, so we're going to be scrolling back and forth a little bit. So now I need to create my lookup formulas that will allow me to find each of the teams in a particular schedule slot. So in cell R3, I'll type equal, and we can just use a VLOOKUP. And the way we do the VLOOKUP will be to look at the match week here in Q3 down to Q26. So that means I don't want the column to change, but I do want the row to change when I copy the formula over. So I'll start by typing $Q, then the number 3. So we're looking at cell Q3, and the $sign indicates that the column won't change, but the row can. So that'll be Q3 as our lookup. And then the range of cells we're going to look up in are B3. And I will make that absolute for both row and column, colon, N26. And for that, I will also press F4 to make it absolute. So B3 through N26, which you can see the right edge highlighted of over on the side, will be unchanging regardless of how we copy this formula. And the first cell that we're going to look up, so for schedule slot number 1, is going to be the value in R2, which is here. And in this case, I want the column to change, but not the row. So I will have R, $2, plus 1. So when I copy this formula over, it will look at R2, then S2, and so on. And the VLOOKUP will be whichever column is recommended, or rather referenced, by R2 plus 1. So in this case, it would be column 2. So I will type a right parentheses and then enter. So I have the first schedule slot is for club 1. And if I scroll over, I can see that, yes, that is correct. And actually, scrolled over like this, I will copy the formula down, and the lookups appear to be operating correctly. I have 1, 2, 3 down through 12 twice, and that is exactly what appears over here in the match week lookup. Now, if I scroll over and drag the fill handle with the cells R3 through R26 still selected, and copy over to cover column AC, then I get basically an exact copy of what I have over here on the left. But now let's see what happens when I change the value in Q3 from match day 1 to match day 2 and press enter. The lookup changes, and it is now exactly the same as week 2 below it. And the reason for that is because we don't care that we have a duplicate at the moment. Instead, what we have is a lookup that is functioning properly. And going with a row that is right next to the one that you're trying to compare, or the one that you just changed, is a great way to ensure that your formulas are working properly. So I'll go back to Q1 and enter, and then I'll just do some quick formatting here. I will make everything centered. The schedule slots I will make bold, and then I will put outside borders around the lookup grid. And there we have our next step. We have a list of match days that we can change to create our schedule, and we also have lookups that will give us the teams that appear in each schedule slot within a given week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel.